What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the right side of the map, in the red color, playing as Odin. He is a big fan of tea because he comes from the great country. Well, the country called Great. He is from Britain. His opponent today, coming in at 175 pounds, 6'3", I believe. He keeps his community safe and he keeps his Age of Mythology people safe as well. His name is ChronoJJ. And what is this? He is playing as the, I cannot say this, so I'm going to affectionately refer to this civilization as Quetz. Quetz is one of the 3 new civilizations from the Return of the Gods beta mod. The Return of the Gods is effectively an attempt from a modding team to add a new expansion into Age of Mythology Extended Edition. In order to play this, you need to go to the Steam Workshop, you need to download Return of the Gods, you need to then launch into a game playing as Shenong. As you can see, ChronoJJ's portrait over here is Shenong, and then you'll be able to choose one of the 3 gods when you launch into the game. So we'll see how things are going to go here. The map is competitive mega random, and we get a kind of pseudo Mediterranean / sacred pond-esque map here. It's a bit smaller than Mediterranean. It's a bit bigger than Sacred Pond, but I imagine both of these players, well, not so much Shadowfax, but definitely ChronoJJ here is going to have a little bit of trouble here in the early stages of this game, whether or not he's actually prepared to play with the Aztecs on this map is one of these things that you just don't know. It's kind of the problem with new mods and new civilizations in general. When you just ask players to come and play in a tournament out of nowhere, it's like there's just like players don't really have a whole lot of time to learn these sort of civilizations, and you kind of need a tournament to make that happen. But even so, you're then going to get yourself find yourself in positions where you would have not really prepared. So we'll see how things are going to go. ChronoJJ is dropping his temple over here. He's getting his fishing ships out. There's around about 9 fish a player on this map, and ChronoJJ is just about to get himself that final fishing ship out. And we'll see how things are going to go. So the big difference here is we do see a Ford temple coming up for Shadowfax. The big difference between the Aztecs and the original civilizations is that the Aztecs water ship, their archer ship, only costs 1 population. In classic fashion here, ChronoJJ does get housed. I don't know what's happening over here. If I hit toggle, no, that's not what I wanted to hit. I don't know what's going on over there, so I'm just going to click that off because that's distracting me. In classic ChronoJJ fashion, he gets housed. So one population ships plus you get they're cheaper. Plus they're cheaper. They do less damage. They have less HP. They've got maybe even less armor, and they only cost 1 population. So a very, very strange unit there. We do see the forward temple is up, and this god power being cast, great abundance. You target a drop site to cause all resource drop-offs on that drop site to be worth more for a short period of time. This is very, very much like prosperity. I'm not exactly sure how much of a boost it gives, but ChronoJJ, his wood is going to be skyrocketing in this game, it would seem. As yeah, something is wrong with my my UI, but you know, that's fine. That's just how life is. As this god is coming through. I don't know what this god does. Goddess of the Moon improves and benefits your myth units. You get the Jaguar Knight, which is able to summon a pack of aggressive Jaguars hostile to all and blocks other god powers for a short time. So apparently this god power is quite strong. I think everyone was saying this is the one that they are going to go for. And we'll have to wait and see how things are going to go as the docks are up for ChronoJJ. He's got himself 3 docks, and you can see they only cost 60 wood, 30 gold. So it's still going to be that 1 or 2 wood to 1 gold ratio in ships. It's just a little bit different, as we do see the Jaguars coming in onto this position, and Shadowfax has to retreat back into his tower here as these Jaguars are spreading out around Shadowfax's base, causing a lot of problems here. Not really doing a whole lot afterwards, but this is the big thing that's happening right now, as we do see the Shadowfax Valkyrie coming in onto this position. The commoner over here is the villager for the Aztecs, almost going down, as we do see the commoner retreating back during the Jaguar Knight here. You cannot cast that forest fire, but here's the thing that's happening for Shadowfax. He is going for an all-in land rush onto this gold mine over here, and ChronoJJ has done nothing to defend this. He's got himself out some war canoes, 4 damage apiece here, rowing around looking for something to find. We see some more canoes coming down. He hasn't stopped producing them just yet, as the Hearser coming in onto this position. That town center will be helping this villager stay alive here, as Chrono tries to retreat that one back. This Hearser over here almost falling as well, so the villager's turning on the Ulfsark onto this position. Has to be careful about that forest fire, as Chrono does retreat back off there. One villager now going down as the villager's trying to retreat off of the gold mine, and Chrono's going to have to move away from this location. There's a gold mine down the bottom over here, and over here he's also got his myth unit here, the Quetz. I've got no idea how to say that, so you're just going to have to bear with me while I work out how to pronounce anything in this game, as we might actually see it getting into the action here as the Ursa goes over to try and fight that one. The villagers returning back over onto this gold mine as ChronoJJ makes the long trek over to this gold mine on the very other side of the map. The question is going to be, with all of the map hacks that Odin has available to himself, will he be able to find that gold mine? And also, will ChronoJJ be able to make any sort of defense, muster any sort of defense against these Ulfsark, which invariably will have themselves the Lone Wanderer here, and we will also see, one kill there as the free myth unit for ChronoJJ does go down. This myth unit increases in numbers here, so if you have more of them, they're going to do even more damage, as we do see the watchtowers coming through here for ChronoJJ's. He's going to be moving up to the top side of the map over here. He's done the damage onto the water. He's also still got all of these fishing ships, so even after all of that damage has come through, ChronoJJ's economy has to be feeling relatively decent. You also have to remember that Jaguar Knight thing did pop down onto the economy of Shadowfax, and it only slowed down Shadowfax a little bit, but it did slow Shadowfax down. As the Ravens searching around, we do see the hyena over here, and we'll see if Shadowfax is going to move all the way over to this location to check those villages or not. As we start seeing some archers coming out here for ChronoJJ. These archers really are not that strong. These are incredibly weak archers, possibly the weakest archer in the game thus far. 6 damage out of the arrow there. They cost 60 wood, 30 gold, so kind of a little bit more expensive than a Toxotes, is that right? Or exactly the same as a Toxotes? Toxotes are what, 50, 35? So maybe even a little bit more expensive. And they have 1 less HP as well. So Toxotes feeling the trade or the resources being a little bit difficult here, as we do see the villagers getting pushed off of this location as ChronoJJ has to retreat back. He's running back to his town center now. A little bit too slow on the reaction there. He hasn't thrown walls up over onto this tower just yet, and we do see that the villagers moving over here are getting harassed by the Ulfsark of Shadowfax as he's trying to make this land rush work in this game. We see the Ulfsarks swinging through onto this location here. The I'm not going to try and pronounce that, but the Pharaoh-esque creature of ChronoJJ's base here. It does 11 damage per second, 176 HP. Fairly strong unit here, but those Ulfsarks will probably be able to pick it off because it's not like a Jason or anything. It's got a fair amount. It doesn't have that much HP, so those Ulfsarks will be able to win that one eventually. There's some houses going down here as Valkyrie is getting created over here as well. We do see a cheeky Zompant. I don't know. This thing here gives a small trickle of favor, which ChronoJJ might be wanting for some reason or another. As the Ulfsark does come through here, does scout that gold mine out. These Ulfsark coming in onto this position. 7 commoners versus 4 medium Ulfsark with some good micro here. Those villagers of ChronoJJ should be able to hold on this position, but Chrono's in a really, really difficult position. He's trying to make these spearmen out as well. The villager's going to be retreating back home. We'll see if he can make it there or not. But look at these spearmen. They've got 5 damage per second. They've got 55 HP. It's not a whole lot. They have a massive bonus against cavalry. I think it's something like 200%. But that's a very, very low base damage in those units. So everything here is pointing to the fact that Shadowfax knows the classical age army of the Aztecs is quite weak, and he wants to be making sure that he's going to have an advantage in this game by putting the pressure on early, utilizing these Ulfsark, which I do not actually think that... I don't think that Aztecs really have an answer to the Lone Wanderer Ulfsarks of Odin, just because they do not have access to counter infantry. And we do see the Ulfsarks coming over here. They will be finding these villages. There is a cheeky transport ship that is on this location, which can pull off of the gold mine, keep those villages safe, even move them back over onto a different location and be completely fine. As Shadowfax is still trying to make a push through here, we see the runners coming out. The runners are this mod's attempt at giving the Aztecs a sort of cavalry unit. It is very, very much like the Kopesh warrior soldier, whatever it's called, from the Egyptians. It's one of those units which is very, very fast, has massive bonus against archers. I think it also has a slight bonus against throwing axemen as well. But it is considered, technically, I think it's considered a... I think it is considered a infantry unit. Maybe it's not. Maybe it has its own classification and it's kind of a weird thing. But ChronoJJ is in a lot of under a lot of pressure here. He has managed to win the water, which will keep him alive in this game, but he does need to find himself some sort of gold mine here in the near future. He does manage to pick off that entire army that's prevented that gold mine from being grabbed. These villagers over here are going to be looking for a gold mine to jump onto. I feel like they could just return back over onto this gold mine if they so chose, as this wall over here getting taken out. If ChronoJJ pulls his war canoes back over here, he could deny this pretty hard, as Shadowfax not paying attention over here. He's about to lose all of his throwing axemen here. This is a big fight for ChronoJJ. He's going to be really, really happy about that one, as Shadowfax has to pull back here. Looks like, I mean, Shadowfax is spreading out all across the map. He's getting temples down everywhere. He's got all the units up on the left side of the map. He's now on the right side of the map as these villagers are back onto this gold mine. We do see it getting hit yet again by the Ulfsark as a hyena comes back over here to cause some problems. As Chrono gets fed up with this, he says, let's fight the Ulfsarks. It's never a good move, as he's getting attacked over on this location as well. Going to be retreating back there. Not a whole lot of units remaining as Shadowfax here. The big question is, how has his economy been going throughout all of this? You can't actually look, or you can actually survey here that Shadowfax, he's actually got himself 43 villages to ChronoJJ's 28 villages. We take a look at the actual units, is that what it is? Units over here. You can see there's 12 fishing ships, 29 commoners, versus however many villagers and dwarves there are there. So it's still going to be kind of pretty close in terms of villager count, but Shadowfax has just got all of the pressure on the map, and it looks like ChronoJJ here is about to get gold starved. He does have himself this thing called the Tianguis, which is a unique economic building where you can buy prisoners, turkeys, and more. One of the big things in this building that you can actually do is buy yourselves resources for other resources. It looks like you can't buy yourself... looks like you can't buy yourself gold there, however. So that's going to be something that ChronoJJ can't do. But what he can do is, if he's got excess food, he can take all of his villagers off of wood and sell that food, technically trade that food for wood, and utilize it that way and still be in a decent position. As the houses over here getting taken out, the Raven going to be getting cleaned up on this position as well, as the Shadowfaxian might is continuing to mount over here. Apparently my camera is in the wrong position, so you can't see what's happening there, which is obviously going to happen. So we'll just move over here, and then someone can complain about the time not being seen. No, the time's in the middle of the screen. How about that? Wonderful. We found a solution to our problems. as the villagers getting taken out on this position here as well. ChronoJJ has lost so many villagers. Shadowfax is 2 town centers up. I wouldn't be surprised to see a heroic age coming soon, and we do see the Skadi is on the way here as well. As the Ulfsark's coming through onto this position, they will be starting to take these archers out here as Chrono is going to attempt to defend on this position with his own archers, but he's still in a lot of trouble here. As now look at this from Shadowfax. He's able to eat the Rhinoceros away that ChronoJJ hasn't been able to eat. He is so far in front, Shadowfax is. And we'll see how things are going to go as the Ulfsark's circling back around the top side of the map. He's not pulling the trigger early in this game at all. He is going to be waiting it out. He's allowing ChronoJJ to get himself all of that gold in. We do see the heroic age actually managing to come through for Chrono. This is, I'm going to say it's Zype. Or Zip, it's got to be Zype, or yeah, I don't know, Totec here. This one's going to be giving regeneration and red, whatever that is. This one gives some god power called Night Winds, which causes sickness to an area of units, making them quickly lose HP. Also gives him a couple of myth units to boot, which can be very, very strong. You see this humongous Quinametelli. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. This is just me this entire game just being like, I can't pronounce anything. We see the double nobles quarters coming down now for ChronoJJ. This is where the might of the Aztecs lies behind. If you can get up enough of these nobles quarters and you can make the units in this building, if you can make enough of these units here, you will be able to beat a lot of these infantry units of Odin. Honestly, it seems to me that a big part of the Aztec strategy against Norse should be to get to the next stage, to get to that heroic age and start building these Jaguar. Good against infantry and cavalry. It's a counter infantry unit and a counter cavalry unit in one. So if you can get enough of them out, you will be able to deal with the entirety of the Norse army. As ChronoJJ is getting absolutely steamrolled here after that frost comes down, hits the army, hits the villages. We do see the god power getting dropped here. Night Winds coming through for ChronoJJ, going to be doing a ton of damage to these units here in this area. You can see them kind of losing some HP, but in all honesty, it really hasn't done all too much. Very, very underwhelming god power after all is said and done. As the villagers do unfreeze, they will be retreating back, but ChronoJJ's got no resources, no gold remaining in this game. He's got dwarves over on this gold mine to boot. There is a gold mine over here, which maybe Chrono could sneak if he knows about it. As we see a storehouse coming down on that location over here, as the army going to be moving through here as well. We've only got a couple of these Jaguar Knights out at the moment for ChronoJJ. He's got a very, very difficult time in front of him. 3 town centers for Shadowfax. Shadowfax has grabbed both of ChronoJJ's town centers in this game. As we see the storehouse going down over there, not going to be that big of a deal. I think that, like, if Shadowfax wants, he can literally just right-click onto this town center and have a good time of it there. We do see Balder coming through as well for Shadowfax, so I think there is, in all sincerity, I don't see much of an opportunity here for ChronoJJ to find his way back in this game. His hometown center is getting taken out as the unit's pushing over onto this position. You do see this Queen of Metelli coming through. It does 10 crush damage with its attack, so it's a pretty strong siege unit-esque thing, but with only 15 range, it does kind of get taken out relatively quickly here. As the hometown center under attack here, we do see some sacred dogs coming out to try and deal with these frost giant. This is one of the Aztecs kind of counter myth units. Technically, it's a hero, but it is very, very weak. 72 HP, 6 damage as they both get taken out. And the Jaguar Knights here, where are they? I haven't actually seen them just yet. Jaguar Knights coming through onto this position. They do a decent amount of damage onto those throwing axemen over here as more are coming through, but this town center is getting closer and closer to falling as Shadowfax is getting closer and closer to the Mythic Age. We do see the Tlat. I don't even know. I can't even explain what it is, but town center is currently Still staying alive as the army does return back. We do see some of these rams coming through. They do come out of the armory. It's a bit of a strange thing, and in that moment, ChronoJJ does decide to tap out. GG, well played by Shadowfax. He took it straight to the Aztecs here in this game, as I think, in all honesty, what really can the Aztecs do against that sort of pressure, against that sort of an early game? Would have loved to have seen the Odin Ulfsark being used against the Aztecs on a land map to see what ChronoJJ would have come up with. I think the idea of like going for a fast heroic with the Aztecs doesn't seem like an awful idea. I'm not sure how good utilizing Jaguar Knight is right at the start of the game. I don't feel like it did all too much damage, especially if you're using it in your opponent's base where they could just retreat back, jump into a sentry tower, and now you're down a strong god power. You could just use that to defend your home base and go to the heroic age. Might be a better way to go. But we did see a little bit of this unit coming out. It takes a long time to train. It costs 3 population, a lot of resources in this unit. But if you can get out enough of them, I really feel like this kind of Norse Ulfsark thing is going to be having some troubles. Because what do you really build after that? Raiding cavalry? Well, it counters raiding cavalry. Infantry, it counters infantry. I guess you have to build yourself some archers out of the hill fort to deal with them. And they do only have 10% pierce armor, so the archers are probably going to be the right way to go. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this game, want to see more of the kind of mods that are out there, this is a tournament going on. There's going to be a lot of different commentators casting this on Twitch throughout the next coming weeks/months. I'm not sure how long the tournament goes on for, but definitely be on the lookout for it. We're going to be jumping into game number 2 very shortly here, where Shadowfax is going to have to play as the Aztecs. We'll see if we're going to learn anything new or it's going to be more of the same. Anyways, my name is Boit, and I'll see you on the next one.